Good morning. How are you?
How's it going, man?
I'm doing well, thanks.
What was your impression of Aaron Judge in a home run derby?
Well, I'm a huge Yankee fan.
Oh, all right.
I grew up about 30 miles from New York City, so very impressed, very happy for him.
You ever seen a guy hit a baseball like that?
No, I haven't. Not really. Josh Hamilton was like the only one I could think of that came.
Yeah, I was telling our producer Cole that the only thing close to I've seen to that was Canseco McGuire back in the '80s.
Yeah,
kind of dating myself there.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So now you've been an assistant coach there at Ocean City for a long time. What's the feeling now that you're the head man? I know this is kind of a position you wanted, but obviously Craig Mensinger, with that kind of track record, it's hey, coach until you don't want to coach anymore. Yeah,
that's always how I felt. Who am I to tell a guy that's basically a legend? It's time for you to give it over to me. And we've had a great relationship, and I just was patient. I knew someday he was going to give it to me, and he always said that. You're going to make a great head coach someday, he told me, and I just waited for him. So now I'm ready, and 21 years, I've taken mental notes about it, so ready to go.
I remember talking to Coach Mensinger during a basketball game this past winter. I'm like, hey, Coach, man, when you hanging up? How many more years? He's like, one, Sully, this is it. So I think he was ready to kind of step aside and let you take over the program.
Yeah, he was. He had such a great run at the end that it's something that he wanted to keep doing, and we were all kind of involved with that, and just had a great time in the last 8 years, and I built a program that I think is pretty strong, and he was real confident to give it to me at this time, and felt that it wasn't going to lose much, so I was happy for that.
Now, Coach, obviously, when you work with somebody for that long, you guys, I'm sure, are on the same page for a lot of things. What's different about you? What's different about your philosophy in terms of coaching high school baseball?
Well, that's a good question. I think what's a little bit different about me is I'm a pretty high energy guy, real intense during the games, and one of the things I learned early from coaching, we went down about 12 years ago down to Cocoa Beach, and I watched this team from Idaho that was the 7-time state champion, and all they did was put pressure on you. Pressure. They took the extra base. They hit and ran. They bunted. So that was something that I put into my approach early was to a lot of energy, a lot of make teams make plays, put the ball in play, and small ball, a lot of that too. So that's something that I think that I'll bring to our team is just constant pressure.
Coach, you're giving me flashback nightmares of Tom's River South in the late 80s.
I remember we played them. One of my first years and battled them. They had the Middle Frazier kid hit a home run on that team. And
Jeff Frazier, I think it was.
3-1. Yeah, and they beat us 3-1. Same thing.
Yep.
You're right. Yep.
Coach, what's the biggest thing you've learned during your career of coaching high school kids? It's so much different than college-age guys or professional-age guys. I mean, you have so many things you have to deal with, not only in just the baseball aspect. I mean, these are 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. They have a lot going on in their lives. They're, a lot of them are struggling to find that confidence. So you're almost like a father figure, a psychologist. There's a lot of different roles you have to play rather than just, how to hit a baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm actually doing that because my twin sons are going to be seniors on the team, so I've dealt with that for a while. But you're right, and I always say this that I coach. I'm a teacher first and foremost. I'm an educator, so I teach like I coach, and I coach like I teach. And so everything I try to make a teachable moment for them, and just make it as personal as I can. Make them understand that it matters and that they're important no matter what they do on this team. Or one of the things I preach the most is team, and that every single person has to be part of that. And if you are going to fail, which you're going to do in baseball, you're going to fail more than ever. And if you fail, somebody else is going to have that moment to pick you up. And so if you throw your helmet, you're saying to your team, you're not going to pick me up. You don't have confidence in your teammates. So that's something that I preach every day to them, is that it takes them all to win. And they have to rely on each other and expect to fail and expect somebody's going to pick them up. And then one day you're going to pick that person up. So that's basically what I deal with them. And that's a lot different than on a higher level. You know, it's something that team concept is so important to high school sports, I think.
We're talking to new Ocean City head baseball coach Andrew Bristol. Coach, I helped coach with John Malatesta down at Vineland years ago, about 6-7 years ago, and I'd never really coached before. And one of the great pieces of advice he had for me is, "Hey, Sully, you know, you got to let them fail first, and then let them come to you, because if you try to just beat stuff into their head, they may not respond to you." And I thought that was a great way to approach high school sports. You know, let the kids fail themselves and understand that they need to come to you and get your advice, rather than you saying, "Hey, this is what you need to." They're so used to being told what to do and how to do things, and kind of let them figure it out a little bit. I thought that was a really cool piece of advice.
Well, I agree, and that's probably why he's one of the best coaches around with that advice. You know, they're not going to want to be told what to do at that age, and you know, you learn that as an educator and as a teacher, and you don't want to overcoach. I see a lot of guys standing at third base box and just 100 things at these kids. You know, do this, do that, coaching every second of the game. And I learned that sometimes less is more, and to let the game play out, and like the coach said, you know, let them come to you. That's big, and it'll mean more to them if they come to you, and they're going to listen better if they approach you first. So that I agree with that 100%.
Coach, what's it mean for you to be able to get this chance at Ocean City, a place where you've spent so many years, and you've seen these kids from the time they were 3-4 years old and getting into T-ball and all that stuff. So you have that connection with these kids for years and years, and that's got to be a cool thing for you to not have to go to another school and start all over and that kind of thing. Yeah,
it's you know, it's something that believe it or not, I actually started. I went a year and a half to law school. Thought I was going to be a lawyer, and kind of left because I wanted to coach, and you know, always had a big, strong baseball background, and it was the starting of teaching. Always wanting to be a head baseball coach, and not really knowing it was going to take me 21 years, but you know, that's just what fate does, and so I wanted to stay in Ocean City. Of course, it's probably who wouldn't want to be in Ocean City, and to get the opportunity to be the head coach at Ocean City is a goal in my life that's been there for a while, and so now to finally get that chance, I can't wait for March to roll around. I'm going to be counting the days, even though I coach basketball with John at Ocean City. You know, that's something I like too, but baseball is my true passion. So,
Coach, my 8-year-old nephew is just completely enthralled with Aaron Judge. Who was the guy when you were 8 years old that got you loving baseball?
Oh man, when I was 8 years old, the Yankees had a Double-A team, the West Haven Yankees, and so I got to go a lot to West Haven to watch them play and come through. And one of the guys that I really loved was Willie Randolph, and I got to see him go all the way up to the Yankees, and so I kind of followed Willie Randolph. But then I was talking about this the other day. Aaron Judge reminds me a lot of you have to watch his at bats every time he comes up, and that was Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, you had to watch Reggie every time. So that same excitement, home run or something, you knew was going to happen when Reggie stepped to the plate.
Good stuff, Coach. We appreciate you taking a few minutes, and congratulations on your new position. We'll be seeing you out there next spring, buddy.
Okay, thank you, Sully, and thanks for the opportunity to have a little talk with you.
All right, man. Have a good summer and get those game plans working.
I will. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Bye-bye.
That was Coach Andrew Bristol, new head man over at Ocean City Baseball.